Before we start our lesson for today, I want you to stand first for our prayer. Melody, you may lead the prayer.
Our loving and generous God, we praise and thank you for the bountiful blessings you have given us. Thank you for giving us a mind that can know and a heart that can love. Thank you for giving us a chance to continue learning amidst the pandemic that had caused a lot of changes in our lives. We are sorry for the times we have failed you. We humbly ask for your forgiveness. Father, help us stay focused on our studies. When learning becomes difficult, grant us the gifts of courage and enthusiasm. Grant us the grace to use our knowledge in making a difference into the lives of the people around us. All this we pray in your mighty name. Amen.
Okay, class, again, for our energizer for today, I want you to watch a video and you can sing and dance along with it. Is that all right, class? Okay, very good. Let's start.
Fractions, fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a pie. Fractions, fractions, they're alright. Half a pie, half a tree. Halves of different things are different sizes, you see. But a half is a half, big or small. It takes two halves to make one whole.
Fractions are equal-sized parts of a whole. When it comes to halves, there are two equal-sized parts that make up one whole. Now try to say these fractions.
1/2, 1/3.
Fractions, fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a square. Fractions, fractions, they're right here. Tells how many parts there are. Tells how many parts you got. When you have parts, parts of the whole. Fractions, fractions, what you need to know. 1/3 of a pie, 1/3 of a bar. Thirds of different things are different sizes by far. But a third is a third, big or small. It takes 3/3 to make one whole.
It takes 3/3 to make one whole. 1/3, then 2/3, and 3/3. That's one whole. Now try to say these fractions.
2/3, 3/4.
Fractions, fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a pie. Fractions, fractions, they're alright. Numerator never under on the top.
And U for never
D
under.
for denominator's always down.
D for down.
Numerator up, denominator down. Fractions, fractions are all around. Quarter circle, quarter square. 1/4 plus 3/4 makes one whole right here. And a quarter is a quarter, big or small. It takes 4 quarters to make one whole.
Try to say these fractions.
1/4, 3/4, 6/8, 15/16.
Fractions, fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a pie. Fractions, fractions, they're alright. Fractions, fractions, they're parts of a whole. Fractions, fractions, they're what I know. They're equal pieces, they're parts of a pie. Fractions, fractions, they're alright.
Good morning, children. How are you today? Very good. It seems like you are all happy and energized already. So for now, you may take your seats, please. For now, I am checking all your attendance. And for today's attendance, who's absent in this class? Okay, very good. All of you are present. Let's all clap your hands. Before we proceed to our next lesson for today, who can recall what we have discussed last meeting? Glenn? Very good. We discussed about adding similar fractions. So when we say similar fractions, what have you noticed? Austin? Very good. They have the same denominators. And what are the steps in adding similar fractions? Christine? Very good again. When we add similar fractions, we have to add the numerator first, and then you copy the denominator, and you can simplify if possible the answer. Okay, class? Very good. Let's all have a round of applause for a job well done. At this point, class, I prepared a short video regarding our topic for today. And I want you to focus and learn from this video. Are you ready? Okay, let's start.
This is how the least common multiples found. Write a list of each denominator's multiples down. The smallest number you can find in both of them is the least common multiple, aka the LCM.
The least common multiple can also be called the least common denominator, or LC.
2/4 of a pizza plus 1/5. It smells so good, we had to give it a sniff. The LCM was 20.
The new denominator,
We found equivalents quickly.
10 20th plus 4 20th.
14 20ths of a pizza at the pizzeria.
Find the least common multiple, that's the first action. Next is finding equivalent fractions. Then do the addition or subtraction. Simplify like an automatic reaction.
Okay, class, based on your video you watch, what do you think will be our topic for today? Very good. Our topic for today is all about adding dissimilar fractions. Class, do you always buy when there is a sale? How do you know that the price is right? So whenever there is a sale in a department store, in a mall, we are eager to buy things because we know that there are discounts and we can save from them. But then, are there really discounts from the items we buy? Okay, so have you already compared the price of the items from the different stores? So you can say that there is really a discount? Okay, we need to be wise. So this is what Gina does whenever she buys something in the department store. So before buying, 3/4 meter of lace and another 2/3 meter. She sees to it that it is cheaper but with the same quality as the lace with higher prices. So let us find out how many meters of lace did Gina bought in all. Class, please eyes on the board. So in this illustration, let's say that this is what Gina buys in the supermarket. So she buys a 3/4 meter of lace and another 2/3 meter. So the equation would be 3/4 plus 2/3 is equals to blank. So what have you observed in their denominators? What do you observe in their denominators? Kyla. Very good. They have different denominator. So, how are we going to add that? Are we going to add that with the different denominators? No. So, how we are going to add? Can you add fractions with different denominators? No. So, what are we going to do? We have to look for its LCD or the least common denominator of what? 4 and 3. Class, we need to make their denominators the same. But how? So, there are two ways in finding their least common denominator. So, first is the listing method. So, first is the listing method. So, for now, for the listing method, we have to look for their common factor. So, for the denominator of 3, it would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. So, for the 4, for the denominator 4 is equals to 4, 8, 12, 16. So, class, these are the factors of 3 and 4. So, as you can see, they have the common factor or they have the same factor. So, for the 3, 12 and for the 4 is 12. Yeah, so they have the common factor of 12. So, the LCD would be equal to 12. So the next ways on how we get the LCD of the denominator 4 and 3 is by using prime factorization. So how are we going to get LCD of 4 and 3 using this prime factorization? So let's have this. 3 is equals to 3 and 4 is equals to 2 times 2. So we get the LCD as 3 times 2 times 2 is equals to still 12. Very good. So the LCD of 4 and 3 is equals to 12. Very good. The LCD of 4 and 3 is equals to 12. So the new denominator, we have now the new denominator of 12 are the LCD. So class, in adding dissimilar fractions, we have 3 steps. So step 1 is to get the LCD. So we have the LCD of 12. And step 2 would be divide the LCD by the denominator. So we have here 12 divided by 4 is equals to 3. 12 divided by 3 is equals to 4. And then multiply the quotient by the numerator. So we are going to multiply the quotient. So 3 times 3 is equals to 9. And the other one is 4. The quotient is 4 times 2 is equals to 8. So we have now the answer. The answer becomes the new numerator. So we have now 9 and 8. So we're going to put here the 9 and 8. So the last step would be we are going to add now the fractions because they have already the same denominator. So 9 plus 8 is equals to 17, and then copy the denominator. So if possible, rename improper fraction into mixed number when required to do so. So 17 12 is equals to 1 and 5 12. This is the answer. So how did we get the answer 1 and 5 12? So we simply divide 17 divided by 12. So 17 divided by 12 is equals to 1. And 1 times 12 or 12 times 1 is equals to 12 minus 17 minus 12 is equals to 5. Then we are going to have 5, the numerator of 5, and then the denominator of 12. So this is the answer. So these are the steps in adding similar fractions. So class, focus on the board. Melody, you read the first step or the letter A.
Find the least common denominator of the given denominators.
Very good. How about the letter B? Austin.
Change the fractions. Divide the LCD by the denominator. Multiply the quotient and the numerator. Write the products as the new numerator.
Very good. How about the letter C? Carlo.
Add the numerators and write the sum over the common denominator.
Very good. And then the last steps, the letter D. Cardo.
Express the sum in its simplest form, if possible.
Very good. How about in finding the LCD? Class, please all read.
Take the larger denominator as the LCD. If the smaller denominator is a factor of the bigger denominator, multiply the denominators and determine whether there is still a lesser common multiple. If the smaller denominator is not a factor of the larger denominator.
Very good. Okay, class, this time we will have a group activity. So divide yourselves into 5. So how many groups do we have, class? Okay, we have 5 groups. So I will give you 10 minutes to do the activity. So do you have any questions? Very good. So everybody, please read the instruction first.
Find the sum and simplify your answer if possible.
So this number corresponds to your group. So the group 1 will answer the number 1. The group 2 will answer the number 2. The group 3 will answer the number 3. The 4 and the 5 will answer the group 5. So you may start now. Again, class, what is our lesson all about?
Adding dissimilar
Very good.
fractions.
So what are the two ways to find the least common denominator? Austin,
Listing method and prime factorization.
how about the steps in adding dissimilar fraction? Melody,
First is to find the least common denominator, change the factors to similar fractions, add the numerators and write the sum over the common denominator and express
very
its simplest
good.
form.
So how are we going to find the LCD mentally? Very good, class. Let's all clap our hands for a job well done. And this time, class, I want you to get a 1/2 sheet of paper and I want you to solve this activity. So, you're going to give the LCD of each set of fractions mentally. Are you ready? Okay, you may begin now. And for your assignment, class, I want you to solve and simplify the following problems. Okay, class, that ends our discussion for today. Goodbye and have a good day.